Breaking news, just 1 week after a mass stabbing took place in this very square, a man has driven a car into Dam Square in central Amsterdam, exploded it and set it on fire, setting himself on fire in the process. In fact, here is some of the footage from what has just happened. Luckily, the pedestrians managed to scatter and get out the way quickly, and my understanding is that none of the members of the public have been hurt. But what you can see on screen here is the man who set the car on fire walking around on fire himself. You can see his trousers around his ankles on fire, his middle body, his clothes there on fire as well. The authorities were kind enough to extinguish him. They did take him straight into custody afterwards. So there you see him being extinguished. Apparently he is a 50-year-old Dutch national, that is what we are hearing, so not an asylum seeker as you may have originally thought it might have been, but we don't know exactly what his motives were at this point. Was he a Dutch national who has been indoctrinated and groomed to, you know, an extremist regime? Don't forget Shamima Begum's first husband, who I interviewed, by the way. He was from Holland, and he was converted to ISIS, allegedly groomed online by some reports, allegedly groomed by a migrant in other reports. But anyway, we have a guy being extinguished before the authorities go on to extinguish his car. You can see the car again there on screen, just raging with fire. It is so lucky that more people weren't hurt here. He didn't, maybe, I don't know exactly what his plan was, but maybe he was hoping that explosion was going to be bigger than it actually was, and that it was going to hurt and kill people. Very luckily, that did not happen, and all he's done is harm himself. Now let's take a look at some of the footage from the webcam of the square. You'll see the car arriving. You see this red car approaching next to the tram? That's the car. You can see it doesn't look like it's on fire at the moment. You can't hear the sound on here, so we don't know exactly when that explosion is, but given the pedestrians are not running away yet, I expect it happens after the car is parked up, and he was hoping that there you see the explosion there, and people start running for their lives. But as you can see, it stayed mostly within the car and just set the car on fire. Let's take a look, whilst we're looking at this, at some of the details in the news. This is from the GB News article. So the driver is suspected of having caused the fire on purpose. We don't know that absolutely for certain, but I think we can take a good guess. You've got the war memorial right there, and as I said, this is a week after we had that mass stabbing. 4 people still in hospital from that stabbing that happened last week, and a heck of a lot more people could have been hurt and or killed if the attacker was not quickly grabbed and pinned down on the floor. I believe it was a Brit that actually stopped that guy and pinned him down last week. Just crazy that only a week later they've got another attack here. So as we say, the officers think that he started this fire on purpose. We'll look in a moment at a couple of eyewitness accounts of what that explosion sounded like and looked like to them. The camera footage apparently shows that the fire was caused by an explosion, which I think you guys could clearly see there in that footage that we've got on screen now. We've looked at him setting on, being set on fire. He was taken into custody straight afterwards, and now that square is sealed off so that they can do their appropriate investigations. Let's take a look at some eyewitness accounts as well. So this is in the Sun. A local security guard said he set himself on fire. I saw him get out of the car on fire. His pants were hanging around his ankles, which you guys saw. He was stumbling around in his underpants. The fire brigade extinguished him. He was taken away in an ambulance. Another shopkeeper said he got out the car. He was already completely on fire. He had done this to himself. You don't get such a big fire from a cigarette falling into the car. It really was very intense to see. I would have been absolutely shocked and traumatized if I was a bystander watching this. One more person says it sounded like an implosion, not a firework bang, kind of an underwater bang. Everyone started running, which you guys saw. Let's just scroll back to, that shocking moment there where everyone, you can see it's a lovely sunny day. We've had perfect weather. Everyone's just enjoying the sunshine, not really thought anything of this car that's just turned up. And then all of a sudden, you get that bang and everyone scatters. few people were a bit slow. They clearly don't just kind of walking away, clearly don't love themselves that much, but most people running pretty quickly. I mean, it became quite clear that that explosion was not big enough to, you know, sort of spread. And you see the guy rolling out there onto the floor. Let's just look at that again, because we maybe didn't notice it the first time. Look at the guy roll out the car. Look at this. Wow. Rolling, trying to set himself out, get the fire off him. Clearly didn't work, that roll across the floor, because he was still on fire, walking around. Huge plumes, clouds of smoke coming out there. Just absolutely crazy. The man was still in it. It was quite unrealistic because he was on fire. Yeah, not really something that you see on a normal day. Is it? Crazy scenes happening in Europe. Hopefully we'll find out in due course what this guy's intentions were. I expect that his plan was for that explosion to make it much further than, you know, just inside the car, and to have caused a lot more damage, else why on earth would he have done it? But was this an Islamist attack? Was this someone who has been indoctrinated and groomed by an extremist organisation like ISIS, for example? Or was it something completely not related whatsoever? We're hearing that there was a pro-Palestine march taking part in that square at the time of this. I don't know whether that would have been related, but it's been noted in some articles. But anyway, that is the latest in this bonkers world that we are living in. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Chloe Dobbs. Subscribe to the Reason channel for more videos like this one.